I got invited to Ryan Lewis's studio that he had built in the middle of Washington State, in a town called Shaston. And he had the new blue Aurora. It was the first time I had seen it since, and it sounded amazing. I realized, oh wow, these are really compact, and they sound amazing, and they function, and they sound way better than TDM hardware or HD hardware. I went to a music school for jazz saxophone. I'm a saxophonist at heart. And then when I studied with the professor I was with, she made me play what was on the page. And I was like, wait, what? I thought this was jazz. Like, I don't want to play what's on the page. The whole point was to not do that. Aside from that, I got a work-study job at the recording studio that was in the school that recorded all the live performances. Realized, oh, I love this. This is cool, but didn't think about anything else except for dropping out of school and then getting a Pro Tools rig. So I dropped out that semester right away, moved back to Long Island where I'm from, and built a recording studio with my dad. My dad and I built with our own hands, a 3-room facility, fully soundproof, double-walled, the whole shenanigans, put it in an HD rig, wild move. Complete failure. So I was put in the hot seat to run the studio way as an amateur. And then people started coming to record. And then I would say, oh, who are we getting to mix this? And they'd be like, aren't you going to mix it? It's like, wait, what? I don't know what. No, I'm a recording engineer. I don't know what mixing is. And they're like, well, we don't have a budget for mixing. So I guess we're going to put this on iTunes. And then they'd put it on iTunes and people would listen, and then more people would come. Like, oh, we hear you're the guy for the job. So started kind of organically, just being in the hot seat and forced. So I have a pretty unique journey where I was just forced to have records come out that I had the Sonic stamp on. I moved to LA, and within 6 months met Tony Maserati, who became my mentor, and kind of the rest is history until 5 years ago when I came up with this space at the gift shop downtown. I've used Lynx on every song I've mixed for the last 2 years, I would say. So within the last 2 years, I've used them on the Khalid Free Spirit Grammy nominated album, which was, aesthetically my favorite album to date that I've mixed from start to finish. Because it's rare to mix an album, from start to finish these days. The Single Talk that was up for Record of the Year. It's just exactly how I wanted it to sound, and it was able to do that because of the Hilo for sure. It was a big part of it. Summer Walker and Drake, Girls Need Love record that I think today actually officially went 3 times platinum. I just saw on Instagram. That was cool. I mixed 380 songs last year, I think. So there's a lot of things that went through that. I don't know. What else? Is that enough? Looking for your favorite thing. The Hilo is set up as my main mix bus hardware insert. So I come out of the Hilo to my DW Fern analog mix bus, hit some tubes, back in through the Hilo. I monitor out of the Grace though. So the Hilo, my single Hilo, is just for the in and out ADDA chain for my mix bus. The Aurora is for everything else, 16 ins and outs for hardware inserts. So I have 12 Hazel Rig Industries VLCs. I have an Unfair Child, and then a Fern VT7, which is for a vocal bus. I also use the Aurora 16 when I'm tracking, when I actually do wind up tracking. But mostly in my workflow, it's for hardware inserts. Yeah, for me, the Hilo brought a level of transparency to the mix, kind of to the final mix product, not even to the monitoring or how I was hearing it. It actually allowed me to mix the way I wanted to mix. And it's hard to tangibly speak about. It's like it brought everything into a focal point that I said, oh, that's how I hear music. And it was right away. There was no second guessing it. And I said, I have to have this. It doesn't color the mix. It allows you to color the mix the way you want to. So it's kind of a blank canvas for you to shape any sound you want. I try not to spend time fixing anything because that it's kind of helpless. Like the sound is what it is, and I try to embolden and make more alive what's there, right? But I have ways of, adding some even order harmonics and refilling out sounds through my tube gear, through the Hazel rig. The VLC ones do that. So I have a rack of 12 of them. But something I wanted to mention about the Aurora and how it kind of comes into play with interfacing here is going through multiple stages of conversion is usually a negative. And the way that the Aurora works, I don't hear when I add a second hardware insert on the same track, for example. And that's something that made me choose the Aurora. I didn't hear when you're in an HDIO, it's like, oh, I don't want to go out and in again. I just don't want to add that second layer, and I don't notice it on the Aurora. So when I'm stacking analog gear, it's more transparent, stacks better.